Well, another fight night, another one-sided beatdown, man. I'm sorry I am a bit behind doing this. I watched the fight on a bit of a delay, but wow, man, this was not what I expected, not what I wanted. This was a one-sided beatdown, man. Um, not competitive at all, man. I'm going on the record right now, man. I am putting Terence Crawford right now as my number two pound for pound fighter in the world, man. Only behind Sergey Kovalev, and Sergey Kovalev is number one because of what he did to Andre Ward. You know, uh, you know, I had Guillermo Rigondeaux number one for a long time, um, and I had Ward behind him. Uh, but after what Kovalev did to Ward, I put Kovalev at the top, and I put Rigondeaux number two. But after tonight, man, as much as I love Rigondeaux, and I am a Rigondeaux guy, man, I am a big Rigondeaux fan, one of the best I've ever seen, man. Uh, because he has not had a big fight or a big significant win lately in a while. I mean, the guy. I mean, it really is not his fault. Guys leaving the division to avoid him, so it's not his fault that he's not really getting big fights. But Terence Crawford, man, I rate Felix Diaz high. I did before this fight. Hell, I still think highly of Felix Diaz, man. I am not writing him off because of what happened tonight. This guy has skills, man. This guy is a good fighter, a gold medalist. And Terence Crawford, man, just beat him with movement and a jab, man, made it look easy. So I am giving Terence Crawford number two pound for pound, man. Uh, let's see. Of course, it was a clean sweep. Round one had Terence Crawford have winning with movement and a right jab. Round two, same as first. Diaz landed nice flush shot at the end. Round three, Crawford opening up more. Diaz trying but can't get in. Round four, Crawford hard to hit. Rounds five and six, I did not even take any notes because it was just so one sided. Round seven, Diaz best round, trying to make it a dog fight. Round eight, I didn't take notes, but at the end, man, you could tell Diaz was getting lit up. And uh, I have round nine. Let's see, yeah, round nine. I have that the fight should have been stopped after the eighth, or well, after the ninth, it should have been stopped. Diaz not quitting against the ropes strategy, but too outclassed and beat up. The HBO crew was thinking that that he was not trying, that he was quitting in the fight because he wasn't throwing. No, what he was doing, and Terence Crawford was hip to the shit too, which I tip my cap to him. He did his homework. Uh, no, Felix Diaz was going against the ropes and in the corner. He was looking for a counter shot. That is one of his moves. I saw this in the fight with Granados. He did it. You know, he was against the ropes, and Granados, he knocked him down. I mean, Granados tried to open up, and Diaz against the ropes, he cracked him and knocked him down. So the HBO crew was wrong. They didn't do their homework. Um, there was strategy on the part of Felix Diaz. Man, he did not quit. But at the end of the ninth round, man, they should have should have stopped that fight, man. Um, you know, uh, it was just too one sided, man. The fight had been decided by the end of the eighth, so uh, congrats to Terence Crawford, man. That was a hell of a performance, man. One sided, a fight that I wanted, a fight that I thought would be competitive. He made the odds makers look right. and the betters and putting all their money on him and having Diaz such a big underdog, man. When I thought Diaz, I rate him so high that those odds on him were ridiculous in my opinion. Um, let's see. Now let me get to the interview. All right. Um, this is really the only problem that I've ever had with Terence Crawford outside the shit he did when he was, I don't know, wrecking somebody's body shop in Omaha or whatever. Um, in the interview, he asked Terence Crawford what he wants next. He says Pacquiao, and the crowd kind of pops. All right. Then Max says, "Do you think Pacquiao at this stage of his career is likely to fight you?" Terence Crawford's response: "Who knows? Hey, that's not up to me. That's up to my promoter, Bob Aaron, and them." You know, this is the problem with Terence Crawford, man. Max Kellerman is throwing him a softball yet again. I did an on-demand show with the Boxer Voice, I believe, after the Postal fight. I believe, I think that was the fight I did after, um, where he was like, they asked about Pacquiao. He was like, it's whatever. Okay, when Max Kellerman asked him this question, do you think he is likely to fight you? Terence Crawford should have ran Manny Pacquiao in the ground. He should have said, hell nah, he ducking me. Freddie Roach ducking me. They scared they gonna get knocked out. Hell, he should have started doing a chicken dance in the ring. He should have said pop 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 pop. And he should have clowned Pacquiao big time, man. And he didn't do it. His response, who knows? That's not up to me. That's up to my promoter, Bob Arum and them. No, it's up to you, man. This is your career. You should try to fight the guys that you want to fight. Call out the guys you want to call out. Try to make the fights you want to make. He just want to stand on the sidelines and let other people dictate his career and dictate fights for him. He should run Pacquiao into the ground on the public stage, and that would force Pacquiao more to get in the ring with him. It would make Freddie Roach say, yeah, we gonna fight his ass. Shame them, because then that way, every time somebody goes up to Pacquiao or Freddie Roach, they'll say, hey, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do you think about what Terence Crawford said? Terence Crawford is calling you out, you know. But he's just kind of just letting it go. He's just not not showing the initiative of making a fight. So again, poor job by Terence Crawford in the post-fight interview, man. He should have he should have called, if you want to Pacquiao, he should have cut a promo on Pacquiao. Somebody needs to get with Terence Crawford and tell him, show him that he needs to be a salesman, that he needs to push for these fights on his own, instead of letting Bob Arum decide who he fights. All right. That is the only issue with Terence Crawford, man. He is a dog in the ring. He is, he is nasty. He'll hit that patting Diaz on the head and shit, embarrassing the man. But then post-fight interview, he's all meek and mellow, man. He should have got nasty on Pacquiao. All right. Now, let's see. Max Kellerman said, before HBO went off the air with the fight, I suspect Crawford is a great fighter. We won't know until we see him in with another great fighter in his prime. All right. You know what? I'm ready to go ahead and call Terence Crawford a great fighter, man. And by the way, if you watch that, or if you go back and watch it, Max Kellerman said the word suspect a lot. He wore that word out. Suspect, suspect, suspect. I suspect this. I suspect that. Just hell, man. Have some balls to take a stance, for Christ's sake, man. Stop suspecting and take a stance, okay? I suspect Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but we won't know till we see him in with another great fighter in his prime. All right, these are his signature wins. Felix Diaz, that is a major win to me, even though it was one-sided and he made it look like Diaz did not belong in the ring with him. Felix Diaz, I rate highly, man. To me, that guy was undefeated. He an Olympic gold medalist. Very skilled. I think he beats a lot of guys in the world. So that was a great signature win. Victor Postal, again, a one-sided fight, but hey, Postal was an undefeated world champion, and a bigger guy. So yes, that is another great win. All right. Um, Darius Young was 29-1. Thomas Delore was 22-1. Okay, those are great records. Ray Beltran, who just had a second round KO tonight, he beat him on a unanimous 12 round decision. You know, and Gamboa, was undefeated when he fought him. So these are some damn good names on this guy's resume, man. Um, Ricky Burns, he was a world champion. That's how he got his first world title, by beating him. And of course, Bradis Prescott, he was an underdog going into that fight. After that, he beat a 34-1 guy. So this guy has some great quality wins on his resume, man. So I am not gonna say that he is not great because he has not beat a Manny Pacquiao yet or something like that. Nah, man. I rate Crawford high, man. Especially hey, I'm moving him up on my pound for pound. I'm elevating him over Rigondeaux, one of my favorite fighters. A guy who I consider to be one of the best I've ever seen. All right, I'm putting him number two, sliding Rigo to number three, who was number one before Kovalev did what he did. All right, so um, nah, man. I'm rating Crawford high. Okay. And what else? All right. To piggyback off that, the other blasphemy that came out of Max Kellerman's mouth. All right. Um, Max Kellerman said after the fight, I suspect the best fighter at 147, the special fighter, is Errol Spence. We'll see against Kell Brook if that's the case. I suspect it is. So that's three times that I have on my notes that he says suspect or suspects. All right. Oh boy. Oh boy. So now we officially know why Max Kellerman called Kell Brook a gatekeeper, because he feels that he truly feels that Kell Brook is going to be the gatekeeper to Errol Spence cracking the top 10 pound for pound instead of having Kell Brook top 10 pound for pound. All right. He, like all these other people, are projecting and elevating Errol Spence into the top 10 pound for pound best welterweight in the world when he has beaten who? Who has he beaten, man? Chris Algieri and Leonard Bundu, this guy's best wins. But he says that this guy is the best at 147. Hell, I don't even think Keith Thurman is the best at 147, and that's an insult to him. Hell, it's an insult to Sean Porter. Guys who are champions or who have been champions, man. You know, he is the special fighter at 147 and the best when his best wins are Chris Algieri and Leonard Bundu. Come on, man. Say it, okay. If he was to beat Kell Brook and you say that shit, okay, then okay, I would understand. I would not criticize or clown you, all right. But to say that shit when Bundu and Algieri are his best wins, man, come on, man. This is ridiculous, man. Um, I just don't know what to say, man, about this shit. How people elevating Errol Spence. Now, if he gets cracked by an uppercut and some straight rights, some 1-2s, and his ass gets laid out and embarrassed in Sheffield, look, I'm going to be serving Max Kellerman a big spoonful of crow, man. For elevating this guy, putting this guy up there the way that he has, man. And all these other people, Teddy Atlas, etc., etc. All right, saying that this guy is the best, man, when he has not even won a world title yet and shit, man. Uh, so yeah, I definitely had to comment on that, man. And this video will be tweeted to Max Kellerman once again. Max, what the hell is wrong with you, man? What the hell is wrong with you, man? You know, let's let Errol Spence get a quality win first. You know, not Chris Algieri, a no punching power having 140 pounder. All right, or a 42-year-old 5'6" Leonard Bundu. Please give me a break. All right, elevating this guy to be the best. All right, so what's next for Terence Crawford, man? He's talking about Pacquiao. Pacquiao's gonna fight Jeff Horn. All right. Now, hell, you know what? I'm really not even high on the Pacquiao fight anymore. I doubt we get that fight, man. I do not think that. I think that Pacquiao and Freddie Roach are gonna avoid Terence Crawford like the plague, man. Hell, especially hey, Freddie Roach saw what Terence Crawford could do firsthand when he beat up Postal. You know, he was right there in the corner looking at the shit. You know, and he has not been pushing Manny Pacquiao to fight Terence Crawford ever since that fight. He got kind of mum and kind of quiet after that shit, man. So, what I want Terence Crawford to do, man, he needs to fight Julius Ndongo, man. He needs to fight the Namibian Nightmare. That's what he needs to do. You know, I want to see how he's gonna match up with that tall brother from Namibia. That's what I want to see. I want to see that fight, man. You know, um, Ndongo was in the crowd wearing his suit, looking sharp. He clearly wants to fight. Let's have a unification for it all. Let's put all what was it? What is it? 5 belts at this point? They saying 4 belts. What does Ndongo have? What the IBF, WBA, and IBO? You know, let's put all 5 belts on the table, man. And by the end of the year, let's get an undisputed champion at 140, man. You know, and then if Terence Crawford wins that fight, then he can go up to 147 and he can challenge whoever he wants for challenge a champion immediately. No warm up shit at 147. Because this guy will have all the belts. He will have the clout and the pull to get an immediate title shot. And one of them sanctioned bodies will give him an automatic shot if they are smart. All right. So yeah, that's what I want next, man. I want to see how um, how he will match up with Ndongo. Uh, man, but this was I was looking forward to this fight day, man. Uh, Javante Davis, Liam Walsh fight. You know, 3 rounds. Knockout. I wanted to see a fight, a long fight, kind of back and forth at least. Hell, I wanted to see at least one upset, and not even necessarily for my wagering, but I just wanted to see something kind of shocking. I don't want to see the same old predictable shit all the time, man. I don't want to always see the favorite win all the time, man. Let's see something. Let's say, damn, man, what a performance, man. I did not expect the guy to do that. I want to see those kind of fights, man. And neither of these fights were competitive, man. The 2 fights I was looking forward to this weekend, not competitive. Now, I guess in a few hours, the monster, Inoue is going to be fighting in Japan. I do not see how I'm going to watch that fight live. I don't see, I can't find a broadcaster that's showing that fight live. I wish they would have partnered up with Fight TV, that app. I had the CEO trying to get them to get that fight on Fight, and for some reason, his promoter, did not want to do that shit. Inoue needs to be on American TV, quick, fast, and in a hurry, man, because that guy he is special, man. He is in my top 10 pound for pound, and I can't wait to see what he does against Ricardo Rodriguez. I'm suspecting a stoppage in that fight. All right. So I will look at that fight and I will do a post fight on that. I'm pretty sure someone will upload that shit to YouTube. By the crack of dawn, hopefully, Sunday morning. So I believe that is it, guys. Let's see. Um, let's see. I'm gonna kind of go through your messages here real quick. Um, let's see. Oh, by the way, yeah, those I see you guys talking about the Showtime fights, man. Man, look, what fight? Okay, after the Davis Walsh fight, man, I was tired. I was yawning my ass off. I said, man, you know what, man? I said, cause really, look, the Davis Walsh and Crawford Diaz fights really the only fights I want to watch. So I said, you know what, man? I said, let me go ahead, let me take a nap, man, so I could be nice and fresh. I was yawning. I was like, let me go ahead and get some sleep, man. Before the main event tonight. So I lay down, go to sleep, man. I did not set my alarm clock. All of a sudden, I wake up. It's pitch black dark, and I look up and hell, Showtime boxing is off. So I hit the rewind button, and I go back to like the third round of the Russell fight. And hey, man, I tip my cap to that guy. What's the guy's name that he fought? Hell, the guy's name is slipping my mind at the moment, man. Uh, let me. I think I have it pulled up on BoxRec. But that guy, boy, that is a tough son of a bitch, man. He looked like a miniature Marcos Maidana, man. Just the way he looked physically. Oscar Escandon, man. I respect this guy. I respect this guy, man. He is a tough dude. In the third round, Russell was throwing the kitchen sink. I mean, those fast, hard ass punches, man. This dude was eating that shit. He kept coming forward, attacking Russell's body, man. I tell you, man, I respect that guy. I respect that guy. And oh, by the way, let me say this for the record, guys. Be on the lookout. Harvey Dock, man, he is quick to stop fights, man. He is quick on the trigger. I'm not gonna criticize him too much for this fight because this guy was taking a beating. It was a one-sided fight. Uh, I would have given him, I think, at least one round. But the guy wobbled, went against the ropes, and Harvard Doc steps in, and the guy has his arm stretched out looking at Harvard Doc. Even though he was hurt and was taking the beating, he was not completely out of there. So I'm not going to be too hard on Harvard Doc, but be on the lookout, guys. Whenever he refs, this guy, he did it with Quillen and Danny Jacobs. If he senses a guy is hurt, man, he will stop the fight. So just be on the lookout, guys. Whenever Harvard Doc is in there, if somebody even seems to be hurt, he might, jump in and stop that shit, man. But yeah, man, I missed all the drama that went down. Uh, I think I think I had it on delay. I missed all of that. What's that guy's name? The acrylic or whatever his name is, and uh, Bartholomew or whatever those guys' names are, man. I did not watch that fight. I fast forwarded through, and when I saw that Steve Farhood had it judged for the guy who lost, and then all the other judges had it for the other guy, I was like, oh man, the crowd was groaning and shit, man. So it looks like a screw job. I might go back and watch that fight on the replay and judge it. But so yeah, so I went to sleep. I missed all that shit. I missed the rail. I saw the replay when he got sucker punched. When he sucker punched that guy, man, his I guess his trainer or cousin or whoever he was, you know, man, that guy. I think it's over for that guy, man. He is gonna get banned. He is gonna be banished. You know, I would suspect that he is done with the sport, man. And probably gonna face some jail time too. All right, but yeah, man. So I did not see all that stuff live. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Kell Brook next put a ESJ shirt on. Yeah, right. Yeah, Errol Spence taking his ass over to Bramble Lane. He got his work cut out for him. All right. Let's see. Um, Crawford on his way to be a legend. Ward number one. Crawford number two. Man, shit. I don't even think Andre Ward is in my top 10 pound for pound. Man, Kovalev kicked his ass. Man, he is not in my top 10 pound for pound. If he is at the bottom. All right. Let's see. Terence Crawford. Crawford is a beast. Crawford needs to move up. No, he needs to unify with Ndongo first. Spence is a prospect. Uh, yep. Until otherwise, that's right. But I tell you, man, these guys, they make him out to be a legend, man. Go ahead, they want to put him in the Hall of Fame already, man. He ain't done shit. He the best at 147 when his best wins are Chris Algieri and Leonard Bundu. They are highly rating this guy off beating who? They were showing a highlight film earlier, uh, during the Showtime telecast, where they interviewing Kel and stuff. And you just look at the highlights, man, where he is teeing off on these guys' body, man. Guys with no punching power who, there's no threat of him receiving anything in return. His head wide open to get hit. He is just, teeing off like this at the body, and his head is standing straight up there to get hit. Now, do not be surprised if next weekend Kell Brook goes up against the ropes and he does that body attack shit, and all of a sudden one of them chocolate brownie uppercuts come out of nowhere. He doesn't see it, like he did not see when Larte tagged his ass. He gets clocked and he gets dropped and hurt bad. So These guys that he is doing this shit against, man. Let's see him do this against world class guys. Then I will rate him. Then I will respect him and say all kind of good shit about him. But until then, man, I am not godding up Errol Spence, man. He needs to do this shit against Kell Brook and the elite in boxing, not against Barrera, not Sullivan Barrera, not Marco Antonio Barrera, but Alejandro Barrera. Okay, no, he needs to do this shit against some world class guys, man. All right, not Chris Van Heerden. Okay, let's see. Who else? Let's see. All right. Um, yep, Spencer's the most hyped prospect I've seen. Yep, it's too over the top. Sound like a hater. Algeria was a champ. He was a champ at 140, not 147. All right. Just like Porter, and arguably have a better resume. Wait, what? Who has a better resume? Algeria has a better resume than Porter. Spence has a better resume. I don't know what you mean, but uh, no. Algeria was a champ at 140, man, not a champ at 147. All right. Let's see. Errol is a MF beast and will dismount Kell Brook. Okay. Roach wants Mike Garcia for Pacquiao. Hell, I might put money on Mike Garcia to KO Pacquiao. All right. Yeah, the Beltran knockout was badass. Uh, Crawford will destroy that African boy easy. Uh, that man not better than Diaz or Postal. I'm not saying that he's better. I'm not saying that, but I want to see stylistically. I want to see how he matches up with the Namibian Nightmare. I was kind of I could see why how you could kind of equate Indongo to Postal because of the height, but I want to see him. I would like to see him try or to actually see Terence Crawford. You know, have a one-sided fight against the Namibian Nightmare. I want to see that shit. You got to factor in the length on Ndongo too, man. On his reach, and his punches. Felix Diaz, man, his downfall. He was missing. I mean, he was just barely missing some shots, man, because he was just a smaller guy with a smaller reach, man. If he had longer arms, he probably could have connected on some of those punches. But I want to see if and when Ndongo would land on Terence Crawford, how Terence Crawford would react to the shit, man. Because Ndongo, he can like do like he did with Ricky Burns. He can stand in the middle of the ring and dare Crawford to come in. Crawford can't just use this length and movement with Ndongo. He'll have to try to get in on Ndongo. Ndongo can stand his ground and use those long ass arms to try to keep Crawford on the outside. Crawford will have to try to engage on Ndongo. I don't think Ndongo is going to be chasing Crawford down. Crawford's going to have to go to Ndongo, and when Ndongo lands on Crawford, how he react. Hell, I tell you that damn knockout he had over Travfdy, man, that shit will never get over with me. I love that shit. I tell you, I say ooh every time I see it. Okay, when Ndongo knocked out Troyanovsky, man, in Russia, first round KO. A guy with that kind of power, I want to see. I want to see him and Terence Crawford, man. That's the fight I want to see next for Crawford. All right, forget Pacquiao. I see Crawford beating Pacquiao. He'll probably stop him Pacquiao. I would put big money on Crawford to beat Pacquiao. And at this point, shit, he would probably open it almost a 2-1 favorite. Over Manny Pacquiao. So I'm not craving that fight as much as I once was. All right. All Kell got is Porter. And all Kell has more than Porter. Hey, he like I said before, he beat Sinchenko. Sinchenko is a former world champion. You might not like it, but hey, the guy was he was a former world champion. Only had one loss on his record at the time, and he has fought a Triple G. But even so, all these are better than anything that Errol Spence has done. but yet Errol Spence is getting guarded up like he has, like he has taken on the world when he has not beaten anybody. All right, so you cannot talk about Kill's resume when it is better than Spence. All right, Spence has not done shit. You know. All right, let's see. Make sure I be live on the 27th. We'll see. I don't know. I will be doing the post fight. I don't know if I'll be live. Um, yeah, Porter would wipe Algeria out. Uh, let's see who to kill. Got be realistic other than Porter. Um, I got Kill's resume pulled up. Uh, okay, he was actually in the ring with Golovkin. All right, even though people say he quote unquote lost that fight, I had him outboxing Golovkin, and I rate him over Golovkin in pound for pound. All right, let's see. He lost that fight because of Engel throwing the damn towel, not because of Golovkin. All right. Kevin Bizier. Kevin Bizier. Hey, Bizier and Jojo Dan. Those guys were they were mandatories by the IBF. Kevin Bizier was a guy who had never been stopped in his career. I actually put money on Kevin Bizier to last in that fight, and Kell knocked him out in 2 rounds. All right. Let's see. Sean Porter. Like I said, Sinchenko was a former world champion. He was 34-1 when they fought. Carson Jones, a guy who now has over 40 wins in his career. All right. He may have 40 at this point. Maybe not over 40, but it's 40. And that, hey, if a guy has 40 wins in his career, that's pretty damn good. I respect that. All right. Regardless of the number of losses the guy has 40 wins. That's pretty good. All right. And let's see, he beat Matthew Haddon. He was 42-5 at the time. That was for some title belts, WBA Intercontinental Welterweight and IBF International Welterweight. All right. I ranked that because there was some title belts on the line. Let's see. He also won. Let's see. No, that's the same belt. Uh, the WBO Intercontinental Welterweight title. He had that title also, and he had the British welterweight title. So, the guy has. I tell you, man, he has a longer and more distinguished career than Errol Spence at this point, man. So we cannot, we cannot talk shit about Kilbrook's resume when he has won multiple titles, longer tenured, and beat a Sean Porter in a real fight, not some sparring shit. Okay, all right. Let's see. Crawford beats everyone at 147 right now. Uh, well, I'm not gonna say he beats Kell Brook. I'm not gonna say that shit. He might. He. I mean, it would be. Look, I would be kind of nervous for Kell in that fight. I'm not saying exactly who would win or who would lose, but would he beat Thurman? Yes. Garcia? Yes. Porter? Yes, most likely. Spence? Yes. Uh, but Kell, I rate Kell high, so I'm not saying anybody is beating Kell. All right. Let's see. Crawford is great, but he still needs to beat a top fighter who's his size. Well, we got to give him Postal, man. He beat Postal, who was a bigger guy. I thought his size might be a factor in that, and man, he schooled Postal. Ward needs to retire. He wants to retire. That's why he's gonna get his ass kicked here in a couple weeks. He's talking about retiring, and this guy wants to knock his ass out. I think he's gonna get beat up. Uh, let's see. Uh, Pack should retire. Yep. Um, let's see. Crawford would beat Spence. Yep, I got that. I've seen more of Crawford than Spence, man. Um, we got to see what Spence does when he fights somebody world class, man. We don't make this guy world class because what he did to Algieri, Bundu, and a bunch of dudes that we cannot point out in the lineup. All right. Um, Anthony Yard picking Spence over Brook. That's a Brit who knows the truth. Uh, Anthony Yard gonna be eating some crow. All right. Uh, okay, Monty. Thanks for the respect. Appreciate it. Spence is still a slight favorite. He's almost but he is a 2-1 favorite, -200 to +170. Kell Brook. Um, I think a lot of people gonna. I think a lot of people gonna be losing money next weekend. Uh, let's see. Let's see if Spence Jr. is as tough as Carson Jones. Yep. Um, wearing your ESJ shirt. Let's see. Ward will handle Kovalev. I got him winning the first fight by 2 rounds, man. I had that fight score 117, 114. Um, and hey, I picked Ward to win the fight. I did not think that Kovalev could beat Ward on decision, and he proved me wrong. That's why I put this guy number 1 pound for pound, man. Because I thought the only way he would beat Ward is by stoppage, and he, in my opinion, he outboxed the guy, man. Beat him on points, beat him by a decision on my card. Let's see. Yep, you right about Spence. Tree Duck. Betting the farm. No, not the farm. I never bet the farm because hey, you want to live for another day. Hey, you risk all your bankroll, then you're gonna be starting all over again. Ward can't beat any uh of the other light heavyweights. I tell you, man, I think he had a problem with Kovalev's size, man. This guy, he's got to get inside on Kovalev. All Kovalev has to do is stay on the outside, man. I saw him having problems getting inside those long arms and legs of Kovalev. All right, Algeria went 12 with Pac and fought the shit out of Mir Khan. Y'all making Algeria out to be a bum by his opinions. Now I ain't saying Algeria's a bum here. Like I said, I respect I respect what he did with Provodnikov. I respect him as a 140-pound champion. Because hey, this guy was getting beat up in the first round, came back out and he outboxed Provodnikov, man. So yeah, I respect Chris Algieri as a 140-pound champion. Let me be clear, 140 pound. The guy moved up in weight and he has been losing ever since. 1 for 3 in his last 4 fights. All right. So yeah, I respect him at 140, and I respect him when he was using his legs as a mover, not as standing in the pocket, as John David Jackson has him doing, trying to be a power puncher. All right. Let's see. Uh, he got beat by Amir Khan. That was not a close fight to me. All right. All right. Well, I guess that's about it, guys. Going almost 40 minutes here. Was not expecting it to be this long. We talked about a good number of things. It was a good chat. Too bad we didn't get more of a competitive fight, man. Disappointing, man. Disappointing, man. Both of these fights, man. Let's see. Who should Cotto fight next? Man, Cotto feels irrelevant to me, man. I don't even know, man. He needs to fight at 54, unless he cuts back down to 47. But he definitely needs to fight at 54. And who would he fight? I don't know, man. I really don't know. To me, he's irrelevant, man. Probably should retire. But I know he won't. He wants to keep making those big paydays. All right. Uh, yeah, I thought Diaz would do better too, man. Very disappointing, but I still rate the guy, man. Uh, let's see. Thanks for the words, Monty. Appreciate it, man. Even though we're on different sides of the fence with Spence and Brook, man. Appreciate the respect, man. Um, let's see. He was just winging shots and missing. Yep. They were scolding the guy, talking about getting inside and all that, man. But Crawford was just, man, too big, and the guy knows how to use his movement, man. He knows how to move and use a jab, man. Um, yeah, Crawford beats Peterson. Andrade for Cotto. Oh man, man, I got Demetrius Andrade beating Cotto, even though I think Andrade. Did I have? I think I had him beating Koke by 1 point, if I remember correctly, man. It was a close fight. Hell, he probably should rematch Koke. Koke, hell, put Koke in there with Miguel Cotto. You know, Koke put up a damn good fight against Andre, man. All right. I think that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any more comments, man, leave comment in the comment section. And thanks for tuning in and doing the chat. And man, hopefully we will get a better fight. Hell, I hope we get something better next Saturday, man. Because this fight between Spence and Brook is highly anticipated. Uh, you know, if it's one sided either way, it's going to be disappointing. So hopefully we will get a good fight, man. Thanks for watching, man. Y'all have a good night.